It's week 5 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on Najee Harris. He looked real good a week ago with almost 160 yards. It's the Steelers and the Ravens, and it's coming right up on Madden NFL 23.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Taken in at the 3.
Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. The 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Ravens. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team to just score their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now.
Well, that wasn't a good way to start. Jeez.
So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field,
hopefully these Steelers don't come in flat today. Looks like we did.
And a big one early.
So let's try this again after the kick return, TD.
Not
Here's
good.
yet another kickoff.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll start on the ground with Harris. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
The Steelers at a perfect 4-0 to start the campaign. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they were a bit fortunate last week having to gut out a one-point victory, so they definitely have some room for improvement here. But that type of a win leads them to believe that they can get much better in the future.
And they're able to work this
Nice
across
catch by
midfield
Pickens
to
there.
48. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come.
Austin up high in the corner, maybe.
The defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
He'll give this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react.
And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Perfection, baby.
His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So all even at 7
If I can get to the fullback here, pin him.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP.
Wait, Ray to respond there. Ooh, Lamar's on a little tear here.
But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone. Let's go, fellas.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Oh my gosh.
Running the option. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who is shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he's going to be met.
Sit down, brother.
Scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Off the option, here's Edwards. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Bateman.
Holding or late hit.
And not much happening there. He's taken down.
Oh.
A late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call.
Automatic 1st down.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. And they run with Edwards off the option, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot and try to get it outside.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And
Yes, what a turnover.
the football at the 23-yard
There you go,
line.
Edwards. Sit down, brother.
And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Following the fumble recovery, Pickett. And this will be
Oh my God. Did he get hit or something? That was awful.
There, and it's second down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Going across the formation, he finds Freiermuth.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
Out to the left, that's where the tight end Moreau is.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 28 yards.
Again, it's Johnson.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. They'll try to run with Harris. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
I love it.
Najee Harris hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have moved out in front.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Very short kick taken right at the 20. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them. Get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
13.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He completes this to Russell Gage.
Dang it.
And he will have a
Gotta get off the
first
field there.
down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Dang it.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
To throw is Jackson. He completes it to Julio Jones. Down the right sideline. Touchdown. Julio Jones. 51
That's crazy, man.
And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Way.
Turn now to add the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a Jones touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
That shouldn't happen.
Take it at about the 1. And a nice return sets him up.
Man, I saw green grass there and thought I was gone.
Najee Harris and the rest of this offense worked their way back onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the
Not
rest
sure
of
how
the
we're
team.
going to get
Those big fellas
that
up
caught,
front,
but whatever.
leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Pickett sets up play action.
Oh my gosh, Pickett, you bum.
So far in this drive, they've done
Killing
some
me,
good
Pickett.
work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Let's go get it now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. finding Harris over the middle. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down. Pickett going to keep it himself. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Pickett back to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Steps away to his left. He's got this to Pickens. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Again, it's Harris on second down. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him early, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own.
That's terrible.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day.
Yes. Miles Jack, stay down.
Not many yards.
Great job, buddy.
When they wrap up like that. That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, Now they know that they can compete with this offense.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they are trying to create some separation within the
Oh, I
division.
love that other play.
I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things.
Couldn't even see him on the logo coming in out of my peripheral. Gosh dang it. Looking up the field.
10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Oh my gosh.
That's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough
Unbelievable.
to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Throwing on second and long. Pickett. And it's
PI.
incomplete, broken up.
It's gotta be.
But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Getting mugged out there.
So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask him.
And the Raven pressure too much.
Jeez, man.
Justin
Unbelievable.
working his way to the quarterback that time.
Just block, guys.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coach.
I don't even know if I could have got the dang
Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around
playoff
the NFL.
even. Jeez. The handoff.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Now Pickett. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right
That's
at the
enough
25.
stop there, buddy.
19 yards that time for number 19. On the delay, here's Harris. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett.
That's BS. That's an out route, dude.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off.
It's supposed to be an out route. Are you kidding me? Why would you hook up? Oh my gosh. That's what I get for running a new play. No way. Look at that. Run your out route. Look at that huge space, you moron. They're in man coverage. Why would you hook up? No, not in man. They're in some type of crap zone. Unbelievable.
If you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
Seriously?
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts.
That's garbage, dude. That's absolute garbage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Gets it out quick. It's Gage on the slant. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They begin the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down. Here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. It's a 39-yard attempt right hash. Tucker's kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So the defense able to force an interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the 1st half. Here's Pickett. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Browns who have the lead.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this 3rd quarter. Well, Charles, in that 1st half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the 2nd half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the 1st half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Adafe Owe there on the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
Wrong button. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I thought I had him on the out route. Are you kidding me?
Boy, so another interception scene. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That's annoying.
1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Off the option, here's Edwards. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That good for 19 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it culminates in a Julio Jones touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Love the play call that time. Love the design. You put 3 tight ends on the field. That screams jumbo set, running formation to a defense, right? No, they go play action, and defense gets confused for just a split second. And next thing you know, completion for good yardage.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
He'll buy some time right.
That's complete to his tight end flyer move.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Steelers are back within a score.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
The
Still no
Baltimore's
indicator?
offense set for this
Really?
next possession. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter,
they
despite
still
their
have
defense
minutes.
giving up that
Ridiculous.
last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. They find some open field here. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38.
82 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
On second down, it's Edwards. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Throwing is Jackson.
And this pass broken up.
Should
The
pick that
contact
later. Come
well
on.
timed there, and now fourth down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that. But let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's Pickett. He finds
Big
Pickens
bomb.
over the middle. And a good job with the
Freaking
tackle
bomb,
there as
dude.
They get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard strike. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And look at this, it's a fake. And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the 1st. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens 31. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
This is Harris, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now Pickett will look to pass it.
No freaking right, dude.
For the 4th time today. Play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6.
Throwing the ball to the outside, dude. Why would you throw it inside on a wheel? Throw it outside.
You're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Should have broke that.
Solid way
Dang
to
it.
start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Of course.
That's Johnson. No gain.
Of course.
And it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And some room to work. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Pickett now on 1st down. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. From the 38, Pickett. Here's Freiermuth again.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 21. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st. They hand this off to Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19.
Back to throw, Pickett.
This is caught. And he's brought down. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris
with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year.
And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. It's a room to maneuver. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
All right.
Edwards, 38 yards. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here to follow through. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. The bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
And the Steelers set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 29, Pickett. Got an open man, it's Pickens. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
1st and 10, here's Pickett. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Second and 10. It's Pickett again. And it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
In motion comes the tight end left. Pickett. Now here's another.
What a sack, yeah.
And the Ravens are going to take possession.
Jesus.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, yo.
And they run with Edwards off the option. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They run once more with Edwards. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Pickett's throw brought in by Austin. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the 24, Pickett. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but